Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, the Night Watch Zone Prime Time with Coriander and Steven from Craven Something Scary. Here we go, guys.
Yeah.
All
Talking
Great
right.
about
intro.
huh?
Yeah. I said great intro.
A little history lesson there. All
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
killers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was
Let's
good.
yeah, I mean we're gonna have some fun talking about these killers through the four movies and wondering is there any clues to what we might see in the new movie coming in five? What do we got? 5 weeks, Steven?
5 weeks from this coming Friday. So
All
yes, we are
right,
under 6 weeks now.
here we go. All right, let's
Yes.
see who we have in the chat, and then we'll get going. We got Emil's in the chat saying Scream 3. All right. We got Denisha in the chat saying, "Hey, let's go talk, guys." Right? We got Lamar. Lamar's in the chat saying, "Good evening, Night Watch." What's going on, Lamar? How you
Hey.
doing, man? Nice to see you. Miss Carter's in the chat saying, "Hey, everybody, what's going on?"
Hello.
Hey.
Lamar saying, "I've been gone too long." It's
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
man. Welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Right?
We got SG in the chat saying, "Good evening, everyone. What's going on? Nice to see
Hey.
you.
Hey.
Nice to see you." Let's see. Neil. Oh, good. Caught it from the beginning. I was recording a review and wrapped it up just in time. All right.
Nice.
All right. Lamar saying, "Mrs. Loomis was that chick." Yeah, right. Absolutely. So, anyways, guys, we just wanted to take a little bit of time to kind of talk about the killers, these iconic killers in each of these four movies, and just our thoughts on them. We've also asked some questions to the viewers, and we'll talk about that in a little while as we did a poll asking people what they thought of each of the killers. So, Stephen, I'll just start with you. When we talk about Billy and Stu, the original killers from the iconic Scream, what do you think about those two as killers and how effective they were in that movie?
Oh man, epically incredible. They in my book were just man. I know the original, so the original is always hard when you have the standard that's when it's set right, and then you have things that
Right.
follow it, and it's so hard to not compare, and it's really not fair in some ways
Right.
that we compare to the original because it's just so hard. It's not really fair, but at the same time, we have to do it because it is human nature.
Yeah.
So Stu and Billy, absolutely fantastic. I love those guys. Stu is probably my most favorite character in Scream One outside of the Legacy Four. I'll say, including Randy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's my he's just all both those guys were fantastic. Billy played the great psychotic role. And I have to say
Hmm.
that when I think I may have mentioned this on one of our other streams night a while back, but when Billy had two, or I should say when Skeet Ulrich, who played Billy, had two hotel rooms. Remember he stayed in, and
Yes.
he had one room that was Billy Loomis's room, and then he had
Yes.
his own room. And with Billy Loomis's room, it's like black light, serial killer documentaries going, newspaper
Right.
clippings, right? To get into character. So, and I thought that he always looked like a psychopath, even from the very
Yes.
beginning. And
Absolutely.
and of course, you think it's too obvious, right? But it
Right.
ends up that it is him, of course, but we get the fake out. But and then Stu was the other one that to me I was unexpected. I honestly I was not expecting two killers. Just never
Right.
ever on my radar. And
Yeah, me too, man. I wasn't even thinking about two. I was honed into one. I was honed into
yes.
to Billy to some degree,
Yep.
on and off through the
Right.
movie. They did a good job of making you want to think it was him and then
Yes.
thinking, ah, it can't be him. It was
Right.
great. It was great.
And I have to say, last thing on that is in that epic kitchen scene, the finale, when you start to see their losing
Hmm.
control of their own desire for blood on each other. They're getting
Yes.
overzealous. They're stabbing each other to the point where it's just like bloodlust. You see it on their
Hmm.
faces. Man, that is some of the best, most intense scenes of the entire franchise. That kitchen scene.
Absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely agreed. And Coriander, before I get to you, I'm just gonna jump into the chat real quick to see who we have here. David was saying all the killers seem to have a thing for Sydney. Isn't that the truth?
Stu even said it. I have a thing
Yep.
for you, Sid.
Oh, we got Fate. Fate's in the
Oh,
chat. Fate
that's a
decided.
fake.
You guys look familiar. What's going on, man? Nice to see you. He's too
Yeah.
funny. Good to have you, man. We got Katie in the chat too saying, "Hi everyone. What's going on, Katie? How you doing? Nice to see
Hello.
you."
Hey.
And we got Smells Like Teen Horror saying, I only found out about you guys a few days ago. So happy to be here. Well, thank you so much.
Nice.
We really appreciate that. And welcome to the community. And yeah,
Yeah.
this will be a fun discussion.
Right.
Neil saying the original is always the best, except for when it isn't. I like that. I really like that. And we got Conrad in the chat saying, hello, everyone. What's going on?
What's up,
Nice
Conrad? Hey.
Nice to see you. Now, Coriander, with you, what do you think about Billy and Stu? I mean, I know that obviously you saw this movie a long time ago. It's one of your favorites. What do you think about how they were characterized?
Honestly, yeah, at first you thought maybe Billy could have been, but then it was like you said, when the police station happened and she got a call from the killer when he was there, and it's
Yes.
like, yeah, it's not him, and
Right.
yeah, I thought these guys were really fun to watch, do their thing. And like you said, who thought there would have been two freaking killers? And yeah,
Mhm.
that kitchen scene when they started getting sloppy with each other, and
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
you could just tell that you could really see how, messed up these guys were mentally. And
Mhm.
yeah, they took
I'm
themselves out. So
I'm
yeah,
feeling a little woozy.
right.
Like, I'm
Right?
dying
Yeah.
here, man.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so and this is what we're also going to do, guys. And for you guys in the chat, feel free to play along with this. I got a couple of questions I'm going to ask these guys, and I'll start with you, Steven. But and you guys in the chat, feel free to chime in with your answer. But here's the first question we have: which duo, and I'm saying duo, killed the least amount of people? A, Billy and Stu, or B, Roman and Angelina? I'm putting Angelina in there, guys. And you guys, if you've been watching us, you know why I'm putting her in there. We know Roman was the only one revealed, but Steven, what would you take a guess on that?
Man, this is really putting my brain on the spot. I know that I believe, oh, man, and let's see here. And I'm sorry for the background, guys. I really apologize if you hear
That's
these
okay.
dogs, and that I hate that. I'm sorry. I would say that I know. I think for Scream One, Billy and Stu, I think there were 6 murders off the top of my head. I think there were 6, and in Scream Three, help me out, guys. There was got to be at least 6, at least the same body count, maybe more. So I'm gonna have to say, just because in the trilogy, all the rules are off, right? So I'm gonna
Yeah.
say probably Roman and Angelina had the highest kill. Oh wait, I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm reading it backwards. Who killed the least? Oh, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Billy and Stu. Billy and Stu. I misunderstood.
No, that's
Billy and
okay.
Stu, I think, are gonna be the least. Yeah.
Okay, you're going with the least. What do you think, Coriander?
With his logic there, and he knows his shit, I'm gonna agree.
Jeez. All right. Well, you guys in the chat, let us know what you think. We're going to keep moving forward, but let us know what you think on this question. Which group killed the least amount of people? Was it A, Billy and Stu, or B, Roman, ... and Angelina? Let us know what you guys think in the chat.
Yes.
We'll get back to that in a second. Also, we've got let's see. Heroic Waffles is in the chat saying, "Hey, Knight, what's going on, man? How you
Hello.
doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you." Smells Like Teen Horror is going with B. Going with B. All right. Anthony's in the chat. What's going on? Saying my favorite line in the entire franchise. My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. I love that
Right.
line
That was
too.
a good one. Yeah.
Yes. Miss Carter saying Stu is my absolute favorite character in probably any major franchise. And no, I never figured he'd be one of the killers. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
absolutely.
Anthony saying the original Scream is one of the best whodunit movies ever made. I agree. I really do agree. Conrad saying Stu is my favorite character in the Scream franchise.
Nice.
He really does have a following. He really has a
Mhm.
following.
I'm not
Let's see.
alone.
Right? SG is going with A. Conrad is going with A. And we got Jen in the chat saying, "Hi all. Sorry I'm late. Slow internet." Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
No
Jen.
problem at all. All right, guys. Well, the answer to this, and I'm just put this back up here. We were wondering which killed the least amount of people. Was it A, Billy and Stu, or B, Roman ... and Angelina? The answer is Billy and Stu.
Yes.
A.
Nice, right?
Yes,
The answer. The
there you
answer is
go.
A. The beloved
Good job,
duo.
Stephen.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right.
they
Maybe
killed
the
the
only thing I get
Loomis.
right all night, but I'll take it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't believe it.
Right. But the other thing, and we'll get to some more questions too, guys. The other thing that got me about Billy and Stu, and like you were talking about with Skeet, he was just very intense in those intense moments, but yet
Mm,
he was able to have that softer side as the boyfriend, the ever-loving boyfriend. And I think that it showed his acting. When people talk about horror movies, they never talk about the actors as much, and the job that they have, unless they do a crappy job of acting. That's when people talk about the acting usually. But I think Skeet was really good in this role. He made you really believe that he wasn't the killer, and then he really made you believe that
yeah.
he could be the killer, and then he
Mm,
was very believable as the killer. If you guys get what I'm
yeah, he
saying.
was.
Yes,
Very,
indeed.
very much so. Very, very much so. But let's go on to Mrs. Loomis and Mickey. Now,
Mm,
obviously with Mrs. Loomis, I think that's a huge nod to Friday the 13th. Just having, I mean, you've got this lady that you would not think could be a cold-blooded killer slash
Mm,
mastermind, but she
mhm.
was. And Laurie Metcalf was very convincing in that reveal scene. And to be quite honest, that reveal scene might be one of my favorites because it was like, what? I mean, she had, and we've been talking about this, she had those eyes.
Dude, there are the eyes. Oh my goodness.
She had
The
those eyes,
eyes,
man.
man. I'm
The
telling
eyes
you,
have it.
they
The
do.
eyes have it. But I'll start with you, Stephen.
Hmm.
As far as these two as a duo, what did you how effective do you think they were? And I'm not really saying to compare them to Billy and Stu or
Right.
any of the other killers, but just on their own as killers in that movie.
Hmm. Oh, I think they were very effective. I think Mickey was the perfect, just nuts, however you want to call it, how you want to describe the guy, just absolutely all about doing it. He wants to kill, he wants to be famous, he wants the
Hmm.
trial. I mean,
Yep.
he is ready for it. And he's another one that he look at those eyes. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, if
Timothy Oliphant.
yeah, bro, he's amazing. And honestly, every time I suspected him throughout the whole movie, he always had those Billy Loomis kind of eyes. And
Yes.
even when he seemed nice in the hospital and talking with the group when they were all, except for the cafeteria scene when he's clapping along for her boyfriend. Other than that
Yes.
scene, he looked really
Yes.
kind of like edgy and I couldn't trust the guy. And so
Mm.
I thought he was perfect. And same with Mrs. Loomis. She seems so just kind of an annoying little, insect, if you will, on Gale
Yes.
Weathers,
Right.
and always trying to, nudge and pull and get the information. Well, anyway, she seems pretty unassuming, other than just being a little annoying. And
Hmm.
then, man, when she comes out of that stage and on with everyone in the reveal, and she
Hmm.
flips the switch, she's no longer this mild mannered. Oh well, I'm just trying to find out the story. She turns
Right.
those eyes. Come on, she like flips the
Yeah,
switch.
they do.
And I don't know, man. As far as playing just bat, crazy. I think you're going to be hard to find someone in this whole franchise that's more better in that role than she is for just a
Hmm.
pure, just I mean, insane. And I mean, she even says, "I'm not insane. I'm perfectly sane." But she's
Right.
like so passionate about her revenge and her anger.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
man, dude, I thought they were very good, a very
Yeah.
compelling uh,
yeah.
combo.
Yeah, and I think, and then I'll get to you, Coriander. And I think her intensity in that moment, I honestly think she was as scary as any of the killers in that moment because you could tell that she really was on the edge of emotion and sanity and everything. And she lost her son, and this is
And her
the
husband.
well, yeah, and this is the person that took her son, and her mother took her husband. So it's like you could totally
Hmm.
understand. And she said right from the beginning, good old fashioned revenge. Good old fashioned revenge, man. But
Yeah.
Coriander, as far as Mickey, let's just talk about Mickey. How crafty is this dude, man? Because he is literally in the heart of Sydney's crew, her friends, best friends with
Yeah,
Derek,
he's
hanging
sadistic,
out with
man.
them.
Yeah, he's evil. I mean, the fact that like Stephen can say he can portray one side of him at one minute and the next be something else, and
Absolutely.
you know, it's Yeah, and he's brutal. I mean, some of these
Yeah.
like Billy
Yep.
and Stu, they're kind of sloppy, they're young, whatever. Mickey, I mean, it was almost like he was born to be a killer or something
Mm.
because yeah, he
Yep.
just was, yeah, like one of the brutal ones,
He
definitely.
absolutely is.
And can
And
I just say
Anthony,
too, like, oops, go
no, go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, just about Mrs. Loomis, I mean, she was obviously planning this because she lost a bunch of weight and
Right.
so that this revenge was on her mind for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so she was really plotting it out, showing
Yeah, she
just
was.
how determined she was. Um,
Yes.
Anthony is saying they foreshadowed the killer uh, related to Billy. Look how bad Randy got it right after bad mouthing Billy. That's true. That is very true. I agree with that. Smells like Teen Horror said, my love for part one overruled my knowledge of math. Yeah. SG saying Laurie Metcalf has amazing timing and delivery when delivering dialogue, so that made her awesome. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree.
Mhm.
Conrad saying Mickey has a strange vibe to him, like you have a feeling that there's something evil inside. Yeah, there was
Yep.
like a quiet intensity that Timothy Oliphant was able to tap into, even
Mhm.
right from the beginning. Even when Randy said, "Hey, look at Mickey," he could be the one, and it was kind of like, yeah, he could. Fate saying which two killers teaming up would be the best duo. I'm going with Mickey and Billy. Yeah, that's a pretty good
Mm.
duo.
Wow.
That is a pretty good. That is a good duo. That is a
Yep.
very good duo. I agree. And here's our next question that we're going to put up, and I'll throw this one to you, Coriander, first. And here we are. You were forced to be a partner to one of the killers. Who do you choose?
Hmm, that's
And
interesting.
and we will include Angelina just for the fun of this
Mhm.
discussion. We will
Heck yeah,
include
we
her.
will.
So you got six people you could choose from. And when I say that you're forced to be a partner, what I mean is just morals aside and so forth, you're forced to go through the killings with one of these people. Who would you choose?
Yeah. Oh, damn. This is a tough freaking question, man. Um, even though I think Jill's reasons were pretty selfish for the reason for why she was taking revenge on Sydney, well, not revenge, but why she was the killer in the last one, part four,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably team up with her just
You
because,
would.
I mean, yeah, because this chick's fucking brutal. Killing your
Mm-hmm.
mother, I mean, come on. She didn't care who she had to take out. I mean, look at the hospital scene. She was
Yeah,
ready to take
it's
out
true.
everybody. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
Jill, that little one right there, she's feisty. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, Stephen, I'll push the question to you. You're forced to be a partner to one of the killers. Who would you choose?
So I'm going to come at this from a very psychological perspective, and I'm going to say I want to be a partner with the one who I could most easily manipulate or possibly take control over,
Okay.
and mentally, psychologically speaking, now not physically, psychologically. So I believe that Stu and Angelina would be my two choices, and Mickey, not Mickey, Charlie would be my third. But if I had
Hmm.
to, because in that order, because I believe that those three all showed signs that they could be taken, they could be manipulated into doing things.
Yes.
And I think that if I'm forced, not that I want to manipulate people, but if I'm forced to be in that scenario that I'm having to be a partner,
Hmm.
then I want to be at least having thinking I might could get an upper hand, and I might be able to assume that role of Billy and Mickey, or I mean, Mrs. Loomis. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
Jill. Jill, I would not, and the reason I wouldn't want to do Jill is because that girl was so determined. She was
Yeah,
so
she was.
set. Man, it would
Yeah.
be very difficult to turn her from that. So,
Hmm.
but I think Stu and Angelina, there's a chance you could actually uh, enforce or manipulate them a little bit. And there's another
Hmm.
word I'm looking for, another manipulate, but influence. That's the word I'm trying to say. You
Okay.
know, so I'm going from that perspective only. And if I'm talking about now, just like I'm going to have fun with killing people, if I'm going to be that person, then it's got to
Yeah.
be Mickey or Billy. Oh, absolutely, Mickey or Billy, hands down.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Jen was saying, I've said this before, but Laurie Metcalf does crazy well and often. That's
Yes,
true, man.
yes.
Neil saying Laurie Metcalf is also Sheldon's mom on Big Bang Theory. So I was kind of hoping the
Yeah.
last episode would be her finally snapping and killing everyone.
Oh,
Oh
snap.
no! Wouldn't that have been
Uh,
great?
Dang.
right.
Oh.
No.
And David's in the chat saying, I think it's weird how Emma Roberts is in the cast, also known as Jill. Oh, for Scream 5.
Yeah.
Ah,
Maybe
all right.
maybe it'll be a flashback, or maybe it'll be like, because if they put one scene of her in, even if it's a still
Yes.
shot, she's in the credits,
Yeah, she
right?
will
So
be.
it
That's
could
true.
be a simple like newspaper article. They actually still
Yes.
make newspapers,
Yeah.
or an online newspaper article where there's a picture of her, and
Yep.
maybe they closed up the story with her, and there, bam, that's her. That's how
Yep.
she's in the credits.
Absolutely. Because they kind of, in a way, you almost have to kind of acknowledge it in a way,
Mhm.
since you're bridging that between
Yep.
4 and 5, especially with Judy coming back and so forth. So
Right. And you're taking in place in Woodsboro night. So
exactly.
if they were in another city like LA, you might get away with it, but they're in the
Mhm.
same town as it happened in Scream 4. So
Right.
you almost have to have some callback, right? At least
Yeah.
a mention of her.
Yeah, you can't act like it didn't happen,
Right.
because
Exactly.
let's see. Anthony saying Angelina, because I would probably most easily be able to get out of the predicament if I was
Yeah.
stuck with her.
Bingo.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Fate saying Mickey, because he would be okay with taking the fall for the trial. That that's
a good
some good
point.
logic.
It
That's good.
is.
It's good logic.
Yep.
Good logic. SG saying Charlie, because I could take him in a fight.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that. Jen saying I would choose Roman because the director needed so much direction. He was all over the place and had no real intent for any killings besides Sid. Yeah, good. Okay, I like that. You guys are really thinking about it. That's great. Okay, so let's get to. Obviously, we're going to get to Roman. And Angelina. So Stephen, I'll start with
Yes.
you.
Okay.
As far as Roman, and we talked about this on our Scream 3 episode. We talked about, the things that were going on behind the scenes and why things looked the way they did in the movie and all of that good stuff. But taking all of that kind of out of the way, Roman in the movie, what did you think of him as the killer? What did you think of him with his motivation, especially in the finale?
Well, I love the finale of Scream 3. I love the whole. I'm a big like Agatha Christie, closed room, closed location type of mystery finale. You know how she does, and so this was very reminiscent of that. You're in a mansion. You're now sure you're not locked in, but you're essentially all there, and you can't really get away because you don't know where Ghostface is. And
Right.
so it had that same feeling for me. So I actually really loved the finale of Scream 3 and the Roman reveal. And, it was just great to me how things would just evolve and move. And then they're going through secret passageways. And there's all of those little things were just like, I love all of that. And as far as the actual, reveal of him, and I mean, he pulls off his thing. He's got the bulletproof vest, and I'm your other half and all this. I'm like, whoa. And I did not see at all a sibling. I never thought of that as a possibility. So the thing about Roman is that it gave me, I like the shock factor of it for me. It was a surprise, the motive was a surprise at night. And it was like, okay, he's not just, trying to, like Randy says, there's always some, BS reason to kill your girlfriend. It wasn't something like that, this was actually, he was really seriously trying to kill his sister out of revenge and hatred towards his mother. So
Yes.
I really like the Roman reveal. I love the ending of Scream 3 personally. I know a lot of people will argue with that, and that's fine, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Coriander? What did you think of Roman? I mean, obviously being one of these two killers that are related to Sydney, and different types of motivations. But as far as how Roman was depicted in Scream 3, what did you think about him and his intensity and his motivation and all that type of stuff?
I mean, I thought his reveal was great because, like who would have thought that this was her, half brother?
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought that was, really good and quite a twist because, he even said, he went and saw their mother to maybe she'd accept him. And,
Yes.
welcome into the family and they'd live happily ever after. But instead,
Mm-hmm.
she turns him away. And yeah,
Yes.
so of course, why wouldn't he want to kill his sister? Because she, got what he never had, his mom
Right.
and the love that, she received that he didn't. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
his motive out of everyone made sense because yeah, I
Yeah.
could totally get
Absolutely.
it.
I agree. And real quick in the chat, Conrad was saying, "I'm back. Sorry, I had to step out for a little bit." Oh, that's okay. We're glad you came
Welcome
back.
back. All right.
Uh, Denisha saying, "Hey guys, I'm here. Hard time to find the channel." Oh wow. Well, we're
Hmm,
we're glad you found it.
right?
We're glad you found it. And by the way, you guys that are in the chat, please give the video a like. That'll help support the channel and help to support the video. We'd really appreciate it. And obviously, if you're not subscribed to the Night Watch Zone, please do so. That would be great. Jen saying, I have wanted to bring this up for a while. The fact that Stab was based on Gail's book makes no sense since her book was supposed to be exclusively about Maureen's murder. Ah, well,
Well, hold up for a second though.
yeah,
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the what we have for Stab would be her second book. Because remember in
right.
Scream One, she said that the book is, she'll send you a copy. It was basically done. And
Yes,
so my thought on that was, Jen, it's a good idea to bring up, but I really think what was happening was that is the second book. That's the book she wrote after the murders, which is the Stab movie, which is
yeah.
what we saw in Scream One. That's how I always thought about it. I thought that
That's
was
how,
her
that's
second
how,
book.
yeah, that's how I took it too. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm sure there must have been at some point she mentioned how many she had written, but that's how I took it too, is that it was her second book for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony saying Roman, you can kind of feel sorry for. I agree. There is a little bit
Yeah.
like Coriander was just saying. You do feel kind of sorry for this guy because he's just, he's just lost and he feels unloved.
Looking for
Not
his fate. Exactly.
that's
Could you
right.
imagine being turned away by a parent who, you were hoping would be, the mother you never had? And
That's
damn,
right.
that would be devastating.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Steve.
Roman's a perfect example. Is if you instead of seeking counseling to get help, you seek homicide. This is not a good therapy.
Right.
This is not the way to go about getting healing, guys. Okay, there's
Right.
better
Yeah.
ways. I promise.
Absolutely. Steven is saying, what's up? What's up, Steven? How you
Hey man,
doing?
Hello?
what's happening, dude?
And SG saying, I think that was the
Yeah,
second book. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
pretty sure in that. That's definitely how I've always taken it too. All right, well, let's go to another one here. Here's another question. I'll start with you, Coriander. Let's see. In your opinion, which individual killer is the most vicious out of these three? A, Mrs. Loomis, B, Charlie, or C, Stu?
Um, I think Mrs. Loomis,
Okay.
just because, she's got the motive
Mm-hmm.
and the determination, like we were saying, she was planning this for a while.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say
All
Mrs.
right.
Loomis.
Okay. And Jen was just saying, I never heard anything about more than one book. Yeah, that will be something. I will double check on that because now you got me thinking. But the way I always took it that it was the second book. But I will double check on that. I really,
I
really will.
I guess one alternative idea to that is that maybe the book was almost done, which I think she said it was, and perhaps
Mm-hmm.
after these events happened, the publisher said, "Oh no, you gotta trash this draft. You got to make this about what you just went through first person," and maybe she rewrote the book. And I
Mm,
guess that's an alternative. But if it wasn't two books, I mean, that's the only other thing I can think of, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, put it this way: if that's not the case, then that's a huge boo boo. And I'd be very surprised, man. Especially when you're dealing with Wes
Yeah,
Craven. It's possible,
yeah. It's
and
not
it's
likely though. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
with Wes, yeah.
Right.
Um, but how about you, Steven? What do you think? Who do you think is the most vicious out of these three individual killers?
Oh boy, Night. I applaud you for the people that you give us for options with these questions, because you could put certain individuals here where it would be like a no-brainer, and then
Yes,
you put a
Right.
lot of thought into this, and I hope
I,
everyone
I
watching notices that. So okay, Mrs. Loomis. See, Mrs. Loomis didn't do a lot of the killing in Scream 3 or 2.
That's right.
That's the thing. You're saying individual killer, maybe most
Uh,
vicious mastermind. She might own that
yeah.
one.
Damn it.
But the killer, she didn't do a whole lot of it. And then you got Charlie, who I mean, and then I have to go with Stu. I mean, sorry, I have to go with Stu. And we don't know as much about who killed who in Scream 1. I know there's theory videos out there, but
Yes.
I would have to say just because of the nature of Scream 1's killings, the gutting out and just all of the brutality of it, the brutal way that they were killed, I have to go with Stu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good answer to me. We'll see what you guys in the chat think between those three killers. And yeah, I did I did choose it like that so it could actually be something to think about,
I saw that. That's very good. I was like, oh,
Denise,
look at you there.
Denisha said, do you think Wes is Dewey or Randy's son, Judy Hick, acting weird in Scream 4, how she knew them? High school wondering if Karen checked that video store with Randy when I think of it. Oh, okay. All right. Putting together some theories there.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible.
It is. When it comes to saying the West is interesting because he's a character I'm really pulling for to survive and be a final guy.
I agree.
Here's the thing, though. There is a mystery factor about who his father is. We don't know right now, right? Going into this movie. So my biggest thing is when we're talking about thinking of who the candidates are real quick, and then we'll move on, right? But you have it all comes down to how old he is in the movie. This is the key. If he is 16 to 18 in the friend circle of the high school kids, then he cannot be any of the original film's fathers or guys.
Right.
They're automatically eliminated. Now that leaves us with the only real candidate is probably Dewey at that point. You could say Roman, but even that timeline is not going to work. I mean, if they were 20, maybe it would be Roman. So I think process of elimination. If he's 16 to 18, there he is. I love that poster too. If he's 16 to 18, none of the original cast are eligible. It's going to have to be Dewey or someone completely different. However, if he's 23 to 25, then all of the guys, Randy's in play, Billy's in play, Stu is in play, Roman is in play. All of those guys could be the father. So it really comes down to, I think all the theories are valid right now because we don't know his age and they haven't told us. So if we start Scream 5, guys, and we see he's 16 or 17 in high school, then right there, take all of your original guys out, and now it's either Dewey or someone we don't know. That's my thought on it.
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's compelling because, you're trying to figure it out and you're like, wow, you could go in so many directions. And movie wise, I'm going to be curious to see where they want to go with it because, wow.
For real.
It's crazy.
In that new TV ad, you see Wes Hicks inside the house, like freaking out real quick, remember? And then you see the outside scene where there's someone's putting their hands up and the ghost face is coming down. So is it Judy that's killed or is it Wes that's killed outside? But we don't know. It could be either one.
Yep, we don't. Anthony was saying, well, it was kind of implied in the first Scream that she was planning on writing a book on what was people writing a book on what was people can put out books fast. I see what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, that's true too. So yeah, it's got to be the second book. It's got to be the second book.
I think so.
Jen saying Stu wasn't vicious; he was having fun.
Vicious fun,
right? Conrad saying, "I would say Charlie." All right, all right. Fate saying Craven Stu will be vicious in Scream 5.
Oh, okay. Look, Night, you got to leave this up on the screen, and I need to snag it with a screenshot. Hold on a second here.
I know Fate's like Stu is not going to be in here.
I'm actually doing this. Give me just 2 seconds. Bear with me. I'm screenshotting this because this is going on a video at some point very soon, Fate, because I have been trying to get Fate. We all have, I think, trying to get Fate on the Stu train
bandwagon
for months now, like months. And I love you, Fate. Yes, he's going to be vicious in Scream 5. You wait and see. Pulling off that metal mask, and there's Stu with all of his scars, and
right, yeah,
Darth Vader 2.0.
2.0, man, absolutely. All right, guys. So we have another question here. I'll throw this one to you first, Steven. Okay.
Yeah.
Which killer used a gun to kill someone in one of these movies? Was it A, Billy, B, Jill, C, Mrs. Loomis, D, Mickey, or E, Charlie?
Which killer used a gun to kill?
To kill someone.
Well, we know that Jill killed Trevor with a gun. So definitely Jill.
Okay.
Billy had a gun. Obviously, remember that. I don't. Yeah, no, it wasn't Billy. That's I'm totally zoning out. Jill for sure.
Okay.
Mrs. Loomis. She did not kill anyone with a gun because she shot Mickey, but he didn't die because he came back at the end.
So you're going with Jill.
It's got to be Jill, man. I won't go down the whole list. Yeah, I'm going with Jill because she killed Trevor with a gun.
Okay. Yeah. All right. How about you, Coriander?
I'm going to say Mickey because he killed Derek with a gun. He shot him in the chest.
Aha. Okay. All right.
Derek.
All right. And in the chat, SG saying Jill. Jaguar Rose in the chat saying Jill. And Faith said, let the drama begin.
Yes, sir.
Steven saying B and C, saying Jill and Mrs. Loomis. All right. And then Jaguar saying Mrs. Loomis killed Mickey. Oh, all right. All right. Okay. Well, it's Jill and Mickey.
Yeah.
Jill and Mickey.
Coriander had this planned out. Each of us were gonna take one of them. See, it was a perfect complementary to each other. See, we didn't want to both say it. So well done, Coriander. We did it.
Yeah, you guys teamed up. I like
good
that.
Job.
That was good.
Tag team. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right.
Now, as we keep on going here, and we've been talking a little bit about Roman, but I want to throw out the whole Angelina thing, and we talked about it a lot on our episode. So if you guys have not seen our episode on Scream 3, please do. It was a fun time, a great conversation. So I don't want to spend too long on Angelina, but I just want to ask, do you think that Roman killed Angelina, or do you think Angelina survives? I'll start with you, Coriander. Because we see him kill her. Okay, go ahead.
Supposedly, but you see people supposedly die before. But like you mentioned, do they drag? I've never seen anybody drag someone away.
Good point.
Nope.
That makes me think that her death was fake and he just pulled her out of that situation. And yeah.
Okay. All right. How about you, Steven?
So yeah, I literally am on the fence on this because it could be either one. It could seriously be either one. And the whole point, Coriander, you brought up of dragging the body away, that was done for a reason. You know, Wes Craven is not. This guy was a master filmmaker, guys. He's not. Yeah. He's not just going to insert a scene because I just woke up today and had cereal and thought, that'll be fun. No, there's a reason for that. And so I can't get away from the dragging away. Why did he do that? And you notice also whenever he stabs her, dude, it's like. And again, I'm not to make light of a stab because I've never been stabbed, or hopefully I never will. But it was like a quick stab up here to the top of the shoulder area, and then that was it. She was on the ground, and then he pulls her away. And remember, she's an actress, right? So she knows, So my thought is, I'm leaning towards with Coriander. I'm leaning towards that she was alive. He pulled her away to a room. She changed clothes. And either she came back and goes as Ghostface to continue helping to kill because he wanted to throw everyone off of her and wanted us to, and maybe throw us off of it. But mostly, I think the people that were there, and I think that's probably what happened. But if she did live, let's say she did live, and she didn't return as a Ghostface killer, my thought is that she left the mansion, she snuck out, and she went to some location. To like a hotel or whatever to meet and for Roman to meet her later on after he killed Sydney. They were going to get back together and they were going to make a run and escape for it. Blah blah blah. That's my theory on if she did live and otherwise he did kill her. But either way, she's the second killer. This is the only I won't rehash it all, but we know that there's two killers in Scream 3. There's no other way around it, and so. It's just a matter of whether she lived or not. That is a great question. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw out for tonight. I could change it tomorrow, right? So as of tonight, I'm going to say she lived. That was a fake out. Yeah, I'm going to be with Coriander.
I'm with you guys too. I think it was a fake out. It was just too much evidence to show that. You know, being dragged off, like you said, it wasn't really a death stab, and you know, so I think it was a fake out too. Wes just had that in there. He's like, yeah, I'm still gonna do what we were gonna do.
Yeah, saying, hey, Bob and Harvey, take a look at this.
Right. Conrad said, well, I was half right. And Stephen saying Sid and Gail killed Mickey together. He went flying. They got their guns off.
Yeah, they did. Empty the clip on them.
Yes. Jen saying, I think Roman killed Angelina because he found out she had sex with Milton.
Oh no.
Hey, that's one way to, it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood. It could, you know, I mean, they, you know.
Yeah. Anthony saying Angelina and Roman had some fake identities lined up and she was able to get away and assume the new identity.
I like it. I like that.
Right. I do. Let's see. Denisha says, what do you think of the metal mask and arrow setting people on fire? It's a new level of Scream movie. The technology is going to be too amazing. Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. It really, I mean, you got a flamethrower. You know, that's just crazy. I mean, it looks great. It really, really does. I'm excited about it. What about you? I'll start with you, Stephen.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have I think I have a theory. Can I drop a theory on you guys tonight on the live stream?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video on it probably tomorrow. I have been thinking a lot about that sequence of the flamethrower scene in the metal mask. And I'm thinking that there is a very good chance that is from a stab movie inside of the film. That scene may not even be the real Ghostface killer in Scream 5. Because think about if they are going to, they have the rights to stab, right? They secured the right to do a stab. And we think that stab will be included somewhere in this movie somehow. So what if they're watching the DVD and there's Ghostface with the mask and he's doing the flamethrower? It's in stab. I don't know. It's just something that's been percolating in my mind since that came out. But I will say this: if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong because I want to see him burning down the house. I want to see Stu's house being burned in the very finale of the movie, where he just burns everything down. And you got the survivors standing there, and the house is just smoldering behind them in flames. And they end the movie with the same sequence that they ended the Scream 1 in, where Gail's standing out there with the house behind her, and she got the microphone. Remember?
Yes, yeah.
They do the same thing now. They mirror that scene, except this time Stu's house is burning; it's in flames.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I would love to see that.
And I think it really would raise the stakes, because now. I mean, a flamethrower, man. That's just crazy. How often do you see that in horror movies? What do you think of that, Coriander? Do you think that'd be a cool move to have Ghostface now using something like a flamethrower as a weapon? Or is that too much?
And with these arrows, it's just reminded me of like Rambo, and I don't think it can get to that level. So I think it's just a bit much, and hopefully it is like Steven's saying in a movie. So. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very possible. Yeah, I think it is.
It is. It is possible. So we'll definitely see. But I think it might be. It's a great way to kind of elevate the franchise.
True.
We got to move the franchise forward. We got to respect the past, but we want to tread on new ground, and that's what's going to make it that much more successful with the younger audience.
Yeah.
Here's my next question. I'll throw it to you first, Stephen, and then Coriander. Okay, over or under? Jill and Charlie kill 8 people. Is that over or under?
4, 5. It is going to be I'm already up. I'm up to at least 6 right now already. I'm gonna say. I want to say it's under because I think it's right at 7.
Okay, under 8. Okay, Coriander, how about you? Over or under? Jill and Charlie kill 8 people.
I think it's over. I think
you're
it's
going
over.
with over. Okay,
Yeah.
so for you guys in the chat, Just if you'd like to take a stab at this, just put into the chat over or under, and we're basically trying to find out how many people Jill and Charlie killed together. Don't look it up, guys. Just give me give me your real answer. Is it under 8 people, or is it? Did I say under? Yeah, is it under 8 people, or is it over? So that's a good question. We'll get to the answer to that in a second.
Hey,
But
night,
speaking,
real quick. I'm
Mhm.
changing, dude. It's over.
You can't change.
It's over. No, dang it.
Come on, man.
It's over 8. Oh,
What
okay.
am I, Richard Dawson? Come on,
all
man.
right, no, that's fine. I'll stick with under. I'm gonna lose it, but I'll stick
I'm
with
messing
it.
with you, man. I'm
It's
just
over.
messing with
Oh,
you.
man.
It's over.
I'm sorry,
I
man. That
couldn't-
was great.
I'm like, hey, well, I gotta go for it, right? I gotta at least try to change my vote.
No, I'm just joking. You could change it, man. So you think it's over?
It's over. Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll get to it in a second. That was funny. It's like Jen says, I said in Fate's live stream last night that stab 8 will be stab the arson. Nice. Jaguar Rose saying, is it possible that Billy and Stu aren't the only people Roman approached when he came to Woodsboro? It seems he would have had multiple options in case Billy and Stu weren't successful. That's a good question. Yeah. That you would think that he possibly could have had some other people lined up. Very possible.
Yeah.
Anthony is saying over. SG is saying under. Conrad saying over. Jaguar Rose saying, if we count Charlie and Kirby, I'm at 10 dead. Just over or under, guys. I love you. It's funny because you guys are like trying to figure it out. Just over or under, guys. Steven's saying over.
Yeah.
Denisha saying over. Neon Black saying it's a trick question. Is exactly 8. Well, we'll find out. Smells Like Teen Horror says the flamethrower being in a stab makes sense since the stab movies are so over the top.
That's
Very
the
true.
thing. Yeah, that's
Very
what I kept
true.
going back to. I know.
Very true. Okay, guys. So what we're trying to find out, over or under, that Jill and Charlie kill 8 people. The answer is over.
Yes.
The answer is over. So you, that was a good change up, Steven. I love that. Steve.
Right?
He was like, I was so sorry. It was just funny because you're like,
hold up, like stop
and
the
you're
press.
not sorry. Who are you kidding?
he's like, wait a minute, can I?
Yeah,
That was
hold
just funny
on.
the way you did it, man. Oh
Can
my
I
god!
change it, please?
But yeah, no, but that the answer is over because they killed 10 people. So all right, guys.
There you go. There
So
you go.
we also wanted to get to our poll question too. I know we're getting close to end here, and we will get to Jill and Charlie. But in our poll question, well, actually, let's do this. Let's get to Jill and Charlie first, then we'll get into the poll question. Coriander, let's talk about this. Jill being the cousin, Charlie being, the admirer, the person who loves her, and all of that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of Jill?
Like I said, this is a feisty chick with the
Absolutely.
determination of, a bull. She wouldn't stop. And if she wasn't killed, I don't think she would stop. So
I agree.
yeah, she's out of all of these ones, like Craven was saying. I mean, yeah, I think she'd kill everybody, honestly. So I think she's one of the worst ones out of like all these people. She's like the worst.
Okay,
So.
all right.
Yes.
And what about you, Steven? What do you think of Jill?
Oh, love her. Absolutely love her. Love the reveal. Never saw it coming at all.
I didn't either.
Ever. Never entered my mind that was going to be Jill. But man, she brings a level of brutality in terms of depravity. That's the best word I can think of. It takes us back to Scream 1. It reminds me of Billy and Stu in the kitchen when that bloodlust, like I was talking about earlier, and you see it with her. Where I think Coriander, you're right. She would kill anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If it's her mother, she even said, "I had to kill my own mother just so I could be like you, basically."
Yeah.
And when she goes to that whole scene where she's self-mutilating with her hair and the face scratching and the knife on the shoulder, bro, dude. Yeah. I still cringe when I watch that scene when she stabs herself, and then the coffee table and she hits her head on the wall hanging. I'm like, this is a whole level of depravity now that she's like,
it is.
Wes Craven amped it up on for the Jill reveal in my book. So I love Jill. She's like one of my absolute most favorite masterminds of the whole franchise. Love her.
Yeah, absolutely.
and I know that some people say, I know Fate, if you're still here, Fate will often say she's too short. She's 5'4", she's 5'2". How can she be this tall Ghostface? And I'm telling you guys, it's in the boots. It's the Ghostface boots.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's
It's the
what gives
boots.
her the
She's got
height,
those
man.
platforms on. Yep.
She has
definitely.
platforms on. I'm telling
Prince
you.
used to do it, and we know
What's
he
that?
was 5. Prince used to
That's
do it,
even
and he
in
was only
the
5'1".
That's
yeah,
right.
that's even in trivia about the boots and how she wore boots
Mhm.
to look taller.
Yes, that's
Right.
what it was.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's how you
Yeah.
can account for the height difference. But I love Jill.
Yep.
I just, and to see that whole end sequence where she, I'm not the girl you cheat on. I mean, you already see her
Yeah,
turn
she
into
was
I'm like,
cold-blooded.
whoa, cold-blooded. That's the term, just cold-blooded.
Yeah.
And Mickey, he's so delusional. Not Mickey, Charlie, poor guy. He's so
Yeah.
delusional. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, baby, let's go. Well, he gets his one
Yeah.
kiss,
Yeah.
and then
He
he got his one passionate kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
He
of
wasn't
course
ready for that.
he was not ready for that knife to the chest, to the heart. That was
No,
no. But
not at all. Not
I'm
at
all
all.
for Jill, man. I think she's one of the best, personally.
All right. All right. Fate says Jill wasn't my issue. It was that Charlie was also 5'5", 120 pounds, soaking wet. Yeah. Yeah.
2 words for you: Red Bull,
Adrenaline.
adrenaline,
Yeah,
baby.
and it gives you wings. Right.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
Just remember, Bruce Lee was 5'5", 120 pounds.
Hey,
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying. I'm just playing.
Yeah,
He's no
baby.
Bruce Lee.
Lethal weapon, man. Lethal weapon.
Conrad said she was like a reverse Sidney Prescott. Like the final
Yeah.
girl was the killer. I was mind blown when I saw the reveal.
Yep.
I agree. I
Me too.
absolutely agree. Faith says that's how Stu survived Red Bull.
Hey, man. There you go.
I love it. Anthony saying, I don't mind Jill or Charlie partnered with another killer, but together was my issue. Yeah, I've heard people say that. Again, with all these movies, again, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because none of these killers, maybe with the exception of, I don't know, maybe Billy, don't really seem physically like, I wouldn't be scared of any of them physically, and it's not just because, I'm saying I'm a tough guy, but I'm just saying, it's like, but in the movie logic, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, Night,
Mhm.
everyone needs like a little, like someone like you who can just like kick ass no matter in any situation,
Okay, jeez.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Denisha saying, hey, Fate decided you're amazing YouTube. Absolutely.
Oh,
He does
yeah.
have a great channel, and you guys definitely
Love
check
Fate.
out Fate. Check out Craven's channel. I've got their links in the description of videos and stuff, and Steven's in this one too. Smells Like Teen Horror says, I was upset to find out that Jill was the killer. I thought it would have been great if she would have survived and gone on to be the new face of the franchise. Well, that's why it blew my mind, because right from the beginning, we were conditioned to love Jill.
Yep.
She acted the part. She looked like Sydney. She was Sydney's cousin, and so you wanted to root for her, just like you did with Sydney in the original. And when we had the twist, it was like, what? Can't believe it. It's just crazy.
It was
very, very crazy.
Yep.
But let's get we had our poll question that we put up on the community tab a couple days ago. So I just want to get to this, but I'm going to pose it to you, Steven, and you, Coriander, real quick to see who you guys pick. Poll question was, what was the most vicious combo? A, Billy and Stu. B, Mrs. Loomis and Mickey. C, Roman and Angelina. Or D, Jill and Charlie. So we're wondering who you think was the most vicious combo. I'll start with you, Steven.
Oh,
and then we'll show our results of the poll.
Man, this is so impossible to answer, Night. It's just killing me. I mean, okay, I'm gonna just throw it out there. I can change it tomorrow. It's not in stone. I'm gonna have to go with Billy and Stu. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'll put it out there. Billy and Stu.
Okay.
There was another one that I'm really wrestling with, but I won't say who it was for now.
Okay. All right. Well, how about you, Coriander?
I might have to agree with Billy and Stu also, just because they were gutting people. You were seeing intestines and, body parts that you shouldn't be seeing.
Okay.
So, Yeah, I agree with Stephen, definitely.
All right. Well, here are the answers that we got from folks, and I think we had maybe about 40 people that chimed in with voting. And Billy and Stu had
Nice.
59% of the vote, 41 votes,
Mhm.
with Jill and Charlie coming in second with
Yeah. See,
22%.
they would be my
Yikes.
second choice also.
They
Yeah,
were my
and
second choice as well. That's who I was going to
okay.
say next.
And
Yep.
in third place, we've got Mrs. Loomis and Mickey with
Mhm.
15%. And then at the bottom of the heap is Roman
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Angelina. So
I
that
agree
was
with that
what
completely.
what people were thinking.
Yeah,
Yep.
makes
And I
sense.
also wanted to jump into a couple of the comments. I won't be able to get to all of them, but a couple of them that were pretty good. From Gore, he was saying, "What's up with this? I'm the first to vote for her cousin Jill from Scream 4. She was by far the nastiest killer, in my opinion. Her cousin was totally ruthless. Think about it. She's got the face of an angel and a very black heart. She killed her own mother for fame. Jill's
Mm.
completely evil."
Yep,
Agreed.
absolutely.
She is.
Agreed. Eric was saying Mrs. Loomis and Mickey, a mother's revenge can almost never be topped, and Mickey proved just how insane he was at the reveal, especially how happy he says, Billy's mother.
That's
I
right.
agree. I agree. Timothy was great in that role. Let's see. Anthony was saying I'd go with Mrs. Loomis because that's the mother scorned. Yes, yes. And also from Explore, she says, I'll say Jill and Charlie because Jill killed her own mom and tried to kill her cousin Sydney. She acted all innocent and then went psycho at the drop of a dime. Turned on Charlie because she had her own agenda, killed all her friends for popularity, is just sick. That's a great point, man. I
Mhm.
mean, like, she she was dark, man. She really,
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
was. I'm telling you, man. Um, Jaguar Rose saying the most vicious kill in the series was Olivia in 4. Brutal. That was very
Yes.
brutal. We talked about that too in our episode. Yeah. Smells Like Teen Horror is saying Billy and Stu because realistically everyone else copied them. If you take out part 3, they were just crazy kids. He wanted to kill people. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Neil saying when in doubt, go with the OG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Denise is saying, do you guys think Jill served Scream 4? You mean as a character?
Oh,
If you
like
mean
survived maybe?
maybe survived. She well, I don't think so. Originally, it was supposed to be a cliffhanger. She was supposed to
Mhm.
be being pulled into the ambulance, and then we were going to hear that there were survivors in the house that was going to keep the door open for Kirby. They added on the hospital scene at the end. That was not
Mhm.
supposed to be the original end. So I think because of the ending that we finally got, I think Jill is definitely dead.
Yep,
That's
Yep.
my idea. Yeah.
I agree.
David saying, but fate decided doesn't love Stu. Laugh out loud.
This is funny because David and I have his thing. We've been chatting on my channel on videos about getting Fate on the wagon. So
Right.
he's coming around. He's coming around.
Yeah. Anthony saying, imagine Billy and Jill as a combo. No one would make it out, including the two of them. Yeah.
Oh,
I like that.
no
I
doubt.
like that. There's no doubt about that.
Can you
That'd be a
imagine
good.
that for real? Billy and
Wow.
Jill together?
Oh
Oh,
man, that would be crazy, man. It would
they
be
could not.
crazy.
It's just too much. They're too much of the same person. It's just
I agree.
that would not work. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But here's my last question I want to pose to you guys. I'll start with you, Stephen, and then we'll go to Coriander. Given what we've seen in these movies, the motivations that we've already seen, the couple of family ties that we've already seen, the ideas that were thought about but sometimes not taken to theatrical cut, do any of these killers give you a clue to what to expect in the new Scream movie? And we know that supposedly, like they say, there's ties to the past.
Mhm.
What do you think that means? If you were to give just a quick answer on that, I know we could kind of speculate and stuff, but do you think there's any bridge between any of these killers and who we'll see in 5 weeks?
You asking me first night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna give you the short answer. Yes, there
Okay.
absolutely are bridges, and
Okay.
the fact that they're bringing in the Meeks twins
Yes.
gives us bridge to Randy. So there's a revenge factor there you could go from, going all the way back to Randy. And then we have the whole Jill, not Jill, Jill's on my brain, Sam having a family secret. The TV ad, we hear Ghostface saying, I know your family secret. Well, that right there tells us what we've all been suspecting. There is a bridge to Loomis or Monker. I just have to believe that.
Okay.
And then we have Hicks, who also was in the original timeline of Scream 1, who is a bridge, who's still in the movie. And so I think we've got at least 4 or 5 bridges we could build to the original film and these original killers to get us to Scream 5. And that's what makes it so fun, because all these bridges are plausible. They're plausible ways to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Coriander? Do you think, I mean, given the fact, and this is one thing that I've been thinking about too, we've had a relative be the killer twice. We've had, a lover be a killer. We've had a mother being a killer. Do you think there's any bridge between these 4 movies and the new movie as far as what this killer will be? Or do you agree with Steven? And, you just figure there's got to be that bridge.
Yeah, I completely agree with Steven. I mean, he knows his shit on this stuff, on the Scream movies. So I completely agree with what he said. And, I think if there wasn't a bridge, it would be kind of, I don't know. It would be interesting, because I'm expecting one. That, you know what I mean? I'm expecting maybe a few. So, yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. And I do agree with that as well. And I do think it's going to be a question of, related, a descendant, or a relation, like you said, to Stu or to Billy or what have you. And I think that the marketing has been so smart, because they've given these little breadcrumbs, and just when you start to take, pick up the breadcrumbs, it's almost like they pull you back further away. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's been really, really cool. But that's what's fun about this franchise, as we've seen in each of these 4 movies, and now leading into the 5th one, is that there's so many ways that the story could go. And it's such a great mystery. These are basically whodunits.
Absolutely.
And each one of these movies so far, for better or for worse, some people have their favorites, some people have issues with some of them, and that's fine. But you got to give them credit, man. They really try to make these mysteries make some type of sense. And the reveals,
oh yeah,
I've loved all the reveals, some more than others, of course, but all of the reveals were just like, wow, okay, because there's been times I've seen movies, I'm sure this is true of you guys too, where you get to the end of the movie and the reveal happens and you're just kind of like,
yeah,
like,
really,
or yeah,
90 minutes, and that's after an hour and a half.
Yes. Yeah. So I think, I think that they've done a really, really good job on these reveals, and I expect the same to be of the new Scream. So I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
Well, and Knight, real quick, before we get to Nisha's comment, if I could, just really fast. One thing I have to mention, because the Brazil Comic Con thing CinemaCon was yesterday.
Saturday.
Yep. Saturday. So one thing I have to bring up is we got that first round of character, I'm calling them characters, the cast, new character posters with the knife blade reflections, like it was with Sydney. Remember, they put out the knife blades. This is like a week ago, and everyone's there except Vince. Right? I'm like, where's Vince? Why didn't he not get a poster? Well, what happens? Saturday, they released new posters with them with the Ghostface mask, like they did with the OG3 a couple days ago. Now they put everyone else out. Well, guess what? There's 12 posters, not 13. There's 13 cast members, and Vince being the 13th. So 2 times, guys, they've released cast posters or character posters without, there you go, without including Vince. And then what do they do after a year and a half of not giving us a last name? They say it's Vince Schneider. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. I don't buy this for 1 second. You can try to, they're trying to con us with this Schneider, dude. I'm telling you, you wait and see. Vince is going to be a Loomis or a Monker. This is an assumed last name. I don't believe it's his real name. And so I just had to throw that out there. You're talking about how the different ways they're marketing it. And why are they leaving out Vince? I'm telling you, there is something to this character. The mystery around him is just too big. And he doesn't get a poster twice. they're telling us something. I don't know what it is yet, but they're telling us something.
I agree. And, and I think we had talked about this before, but just to say, this is not the first time we've seen this type of thing happen because they did the same thing with Star Trek Into Darkness, the second Star Trek of the reboot series, where you had Benedict Cumberbatch playing Khan, but yet in the film, listed on the film, his name was, I think it was like John something or whatever. And even when he was asked about, are you playing Khan? He's like, no, I'm playing a character named John, whatever it was. So yeah,
Exactly.
look, this is
Come
an
on
old
now.
trick. This is an old trick. But Denisha was saying, can't wait to see what Sam's secret is. Mental health plays part of it. I'm excited to see this January after my birthday. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen says Vince was doing dishes.
Oh gosh.
And Conrad said Vince has to be a Loomis. I just feel he is.
I
It
understand.
it could be. It
could
really
be.
could be. It really
And
could.
he's the right age too. Remember, Vince is older. He's in his
he's older
20s,
than the others.
guys.
That's
Yes.
right.
So he falls into that timeline where he could fit into being a child of like Sydney or Judy or whatever. He fits the timeline. So one of the original not OG, but the original killers or characters could be a father, which is so that gives us another connection. I love that they're making him older because he could be in that timeline.
He could. Absolutely. Yeah. Steven saying, I knew that Con. They couldn't play me. I know, man. I knew it too, man. I was like, come on. And sure enough, when I saw it, I was just like, I could hear people in the theater like, we knew it. We knew it. And it's like, yeah, exactly. But anyways, guys, that's about all we've got. I know we went over a little bit, but this was really fun talking about these villains, these killers, and each of them having some similarities, but also a lot of differences. So that was the thing that kind of caught me, as like, we got to talk about these villains, man, because there's so much that was there in each of them as far as their characterizations. And all of the actors, I think they did a pretty good job of convincing us that they were, psychotic or manipulative or crafty or what have you. So yeah, this has been really, really fun to kind of do something a little bit different. We talk about the OG3 and we talk about, those types of things, but talking about these specific killers, I thought would be a really interesting discussion. And that's what it's been. So, but guys, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Some of these questions that we asked, some of these killers, who were your favorites, who were not your favorites, and why? And let's get a discussion going on that. And that should be pretty interesting. Absolutely. Fate saying, can't wait for Friday. Yes.
Yeah.
Friday will be a lot of fun. We're going to have our roundtable discussion. We'll have Steven, we'll have Fate, we'll have Killjoy Jake, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely hit the notification bell so you guys know when we're on. It's going to be live and it should be a blast because we really do have fun discussions. And there's been a bunch of times we've had discussions, they're not recorded, and we're like, oh man, we should have recorded that, right?
Multiple times now. Almost every time we get together on a Zoom, it's like, oh, dude, why didn't we record this? We can upload it, It's
exactly.
Great. I'm very excited as well. It's going to be awesome.
I am too, man. I really am. As we start to head on out, Jen says, right, Fate? He was doing dishes, and that is why his poster was not there. Yeah. Denisha saying, hope to see more of this. Absolutely. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. And like we got 5 weeks and then the new movie will be there. So yeah. Saying, yes, more Scream talk.
Yes. Always.
Family is forever. It's in the genes. Right.
Well, hey, and Knight, I got to throw out on that new TV ad, something that's worth noting is that it has it has two not title cards, but two cards, text cards in the middle of the trailer where it says bad blood never dies. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold up. Who's alive? Who never died? Is there a chance, Knight? Give me a chance. Tell me there's a chance. I'm telling you, there we go, baby. There's a chance. Never die.
Hey, look, I already said if Stu comes back, Steven's gonna be like, he's gonna be like the brightest star in the sky because he's gonna be like, I said it from day one. I've got evidence.
I got theories that are plausible. They'll work, and I was denied by everybody.
Right?
But I stand victorious.
Yeah, you do. Conrad saying can't wait for more Scream Talk on Friday. Yes, indeed.
Oh,
we'll have some fun, man. We
Definitely.
will. Miss Carter saying night, everyone. Good night, Miss Carter. Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good night.
David saying Craven's my favorite, but all you guys are amazing content creators. Love all the content. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Very much. Your support means a lot.
Yeah, it really does. Miss Carter saying been fun listening to these theories. Night, everyone. Good night. We will see you next time. SG saying had a fun time, y'all. Thanks for doing this. Our pleasure, man.
Absolutely.
Our pleasure. And we've got a hashtag Team Stu.
Oh, yes. I'm a charter member of that team, baby. Let's go.
Right. All right, guys. So we will be doing this again. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was fun doing this live. And definitely check out Steven on his channel if you haven't already. And I know a lot of you have. But I've got the link to his channel in the description. And again, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about some of these theories. And we'll talk about it. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.